Okay, so you know how everyone's talking about AI and like how it's going to change everything? Well, today we're looking at something that's already changing, online shopping.
Right.
Specifically, those AI shopping assistants that are popping up like everywhere.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, is this really useful? Or is this just like another tech buzzword, you know?
Exactly. And that's what we're going to untangle today. We're doing a deep dive into a head-to-head comparison of two of these AI assistants, Amazon Rufus and NewEcom AI.
Except for our listeners who are like, I just want to know which one actually works. We're going to cut through all the tech jargon and get right to the point. We want to help you understand what these AI assistants can actually do in the real world of e-commerce.
Yeah, so no more marketing hype, just the good stuff. And to do that, we're going to look at how these two AIs performed in some real shopping scenarios. We're talking about side-by-side tests that were set up to see how each AI handled the same challenge. For AI, they ran the tests directly on the websites of Havaianas and Yonka Paris.
That's right. And the insights we're breaking down today come from a series of YouTube videos that the NewEcom AI channel put together. They did all the legwork setting up these comparisons, and we've gone through them to distill the most important takeaways for you.
So basically, our mission today is to figure out which AI shopping assistant provides a more intuitive and helpful experience based on how they actually performed in these realistic shopping situations. So let's jump right in, shall we? Let's start with something super basic but so important. Understanding your intent, like what you actually want to buy right from the get-go.
Yeah, that's huge, right? If the AI doesn't get what you're looking for, like
Yeah.
right off the bat, the whole experience is going to go downhill fast. It's got to nail that initial intent.
Totally. So the first scenario they tested was a user searching for fashionable outfits for a spring break trip to Miami. Pretty specific, right? And when they used NewEcom AI on the Havaianas website, something interesting happened. It kind of zoomed in on the heart of the request. You know what I mean?
Right. Because think about it. Havaianas, they're all about flip-flops. Right. And the AI, which they call their soul stylist, really lived up to that name. It immediately started suggesting all these stylish flip-flops, recognizing that for Havaianas, fashionable footwear would be like the cornerstone of any Miami spring break outfit. Like it understood the brand and how it fit into the user's request.
It connected the dots. Fashionable outfits, spring break, Miami, and bam, Havaianas flip-flops.
Pretty smart, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now contrast that with how Amazon Rufus handled the exact same request.
This is where it gets interesting. So Amazon's ecosystem is massive, right? Like almost everything under the sun. And maybe that explains what happened next, because Rufus initially didn't even focus on flip-flops. It started suggesting other items, and the video kind of hinted that this was probably based on the user's past purchases and just their general browsing habits on Amazon. Flip-flops only came into the picture when the user specifically asked for them. So right off the bat, we see two very different approaches. NewEcom.ai, at least on the Havaiana site, was really focused on what the user was looking for right now, stylish footwear for that specific Miami trip. Whereas Amazon Rufus seemed to be leaning a lot on past behavior, which in this case wasn't super helpful.
And this really highlights what they call NewEcom.ai's intentional data model. It sounds like an AI that's trained to understand a specific brand and its products, and then like the nuances of style within that brand's world. So it can align better with those immediate shopping goals, which are sometimes super specific.
Makes you think, right? When you're on a brand's website, are you more interested in what you've bought before across the entire internet, or are you thinking about what that specific brand offers that you need right now?
Exactly. It's a subtle but really important difference. All right, so let's shift gears to the second challenge, which is all about how these AIs actually guide you through the whole shopping process. Because just getting the initial request right isn't enough. It's got to be with you every step of the way.
Right, like a good shopping buddy. So in this case, the focus was on how helpful the AI was as you browsed, asked questions, and maybe even, changed your mind a bit about what you're looking for.
Yep. So back to NewEcom.ai on Havaianas. The video mentioned that their AI actually enriches the product catalog with what they call intentional product information. Stuff like use cases, customer benefits, those key features. The responses felt a lot more, precise and informative. It was like they were giving the customer all the details they need to feel really confident about their choices.
So it wasn't just like, here's a product, buy it. It was more like, here's why this product is awesome, and here's how it could be perfect for you.
Exactly. And what's interesting is the comparison they made with Amazon Rufus. They described Rufus's responses as poor and unengaging, mainly because they were missing that kind of deeper intentional product information. It felt more generic, less tailored to the specific brand and what it offered.
Yeah, and it wasn't just about the initial info either. The video also talked about how the AI adapts as your needs kind of evolve while you're shopping. Apparently, NewEcom AI uses image analysis, like it looks at the colors, the design, the style of the products you're looking at to refine its recommendations and keep you engaged.
Which makes sense if you think about the bigger picture of AI, right? Visual search is getting huge. So the ability for an AI to not just process text, but actually see and interpret visuals is a game changer for personalization.
And they gave a really clear example with the Javiana's recommendations. AI showed the user flip-flops that were bold, colorful, with those bright floral soles, which, totally fits the whole Miami spring break vibe. And Amazon Rufus, on the other hand, recommended some flip-flops that had like tiny little floral details on otherwise plain soles. It sounds like a small difference, but it really shows how the AI's understanding of the overall aesthetic plays a big part.
Oh yeah, that visual element is super telling. It means that NewEcom AI isn't just matching keywords, it's actually seeing the product and understanding how it fits aesthetically into what the shopper probably wants. So it's not enough to just have tons of products. The AI has to understand the products and the shopper's needs on a deeper level.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, let's move on to the third and final challenge, personalization, which is, where AI has the potential to be really amazing. For this, they looked at how well each AI could recommend a skincare routine for a specific skin type and concern. So for NewEcom AI, they tested it on the Yonka Paris website. They're known for their premium skincare products. And for Amazon Rufus, well, they use the Yonka Paris listings on Amazon.
Yeah. And the question here was, how well could each AI recommend a full personalized routine that actually addressed the user-stated skincare needs?
Exactly. So what they found was that NewEcom AI, in addition to having all that detailed product information, seemed to also understand skincare itself, like the principles of it. It could connect specific product benefits and routines to different skin types and concerns. So Yonka Paris's AI recommended a complete set of complementary products that were perfectly matched to what the user needed in a skincare routine.
That's so cool. The fact that it could recommend a complete set of products that were complementary means it wasn't just thinking about individual products in isolation. It was thinking about how those products work together in a routine, which is exactly what a skincare expert would do.
Right. It's the bigger picture. So how did Amazon Rufus fare when it came to creating a personalized skincare routine?
Well, according to the video, Rufus did make recommendations, but they were pretty limited. It often suggested different versions of the same product rather than a full routine with different steps and products for different needs. It seemed like it got the basic concern, but didn't really grasp the need for multiple products working together in a specific order.
Huge difference. True personalization isn't just about finding a product with a specific ingredient. It's about understanding what the user wants to achieve and offering a complete solution. Oh, and the video mentioned another cool thing on the Yonka Paris site with NewEcom AI. There's a feature that lets you compare the products you've looked at side by side.
Oh man, that's so helpful, especially for skincare, where you're looking at ingredients and benefits and all that. Being able to compare them directly makes deciding so much easier. It could definitely prevent people from getting overwhelmed and just abandoning their cart.
For sure. So when it comes to personalization, it seems like NewEcom AI really nailed it. It understood the products, the user's goals, and even provided extra support to make the whole decision-making process smoother. Effective personalization requires a deep understanding of the product category and the user's objectives. It can't just be surface level.
So to sum it all up, based on these tests, NewEcom AI was consistently better at understanding user intent from the very beginning. It gave more helpful advice throughout the shopping journey, probably because of that richer product data and its visual analysis capabilities. And when it came to personalization, especially with the skincare routine, it was miles ahead of Amazon Rufus in these particular scenarios. Amazon Rufus obviously has a ton of data to work with, but in these tests, it seemed to miss some of the nuances of what the user needed in that moment and what the specific brand offered.
And for you, our listeners, understanding these differences is crucial. As AI shopping assistants become more common, knowing how each one approaches those key elements of shopping, understanding what you want, guiding your decisions. Personalizing recommendations will help you evaluate and choose the right tools for you. It's about being an informed shopper in this new world of AI-driven e-commerce.
And that brings up a really interesting question. As these AI shopping tools become the norm, how will this intentional data approach, this idea of deeply understanding specific brands and their products, change online shopping as we know it? What will we expect as consumers? How will we discover new products? How will brands stand out in a marketplace where AI plays such a huge role in connecting us with products? These are questions worth pondering even after you finish listening to this deep dive.
Totally. Lots to think about. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this episode of The Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us.